My sister asked if she could stay with us just until her divorce settled. She thanked me every day until I noticed my husband whispering around her. I found her bracelet in our bedroom. When I confronted her, she said, "He deserves better." So I recorded their late-night talks and sent the audio to her ex-husband, who was fighting for custody. She lost everything. My husband came crawling back after she got bored of him. I said, "You both belong together. Just not in my house." Then I changed the locks. This is hard to write, but I need to get it out. I never thought I'd be the kind of woman who got betrayed by her own sister. And not just any betrayal. I'm talking about the kind that rips through everything you thought was solid: your marriage, your home, your trust in the people who are supposed to love you. It started with a phone call on a cold Tuesday night. My sister Nora called crying. Her voice was shaking so hard I barely understood her. "Rick cheated on me," she said. "He's been lying for months. I just found out today." Nora was married to Rick for almost 10 years. They had 2 kids. A nice house outside Charlotte. The whole picture-perfect thing. She was the one who always seemed to have it together. Pretty, sharp, loud in a charming way. You couldn't ignore her if you tried. I'm the opposite. More reserved. People say I'm calm. I work from home as a CPA. My husband, Brian, runs a garage in Knoxville. We don't live fancy, but we have a cozy 3-bedroom house, a small backyard, and a quiet life. At least we did. "I just need a place to stay until the divorce settles," Nora said. "Just for a little while. I can't go back to Mom and Dad. I'll lose my mind." I told her yes, without asking Brian. He wasn't thrilled. "It's not that I don't like your sister," he said, trying to be diplomatic. "But she's a lot. And we're in the middle of IVF appointments and everything." "You sure this is the right time?" "She's my sister," I said. "She has nowhere else." That was the beginning of the end. Nora moved in 3 days later with 2 suitcases and a bottle of red wine. She kissed Brian on the cheek when she walked in and said, "Thank you for letting me crash here. I swear I won't be a burden." She lied. The first week, she helped around the house. She cleaned the bathroom, helped me make dinner, folded laundry. She thanked me every day. Kept saying she couldn't believe how lucky she was to have a sister like me. Then things started to shift. Little things. Like how she'd always come into the kitchen when Brian was making coffee, even if she never drank it. Or how she started wearing low-cut tank tops at night with no bra, walking around like she owned the place. I told myself I was being paranoid. One night, I got up at 2 a.m. to use the bathroom and found the living room light on. Brian and Nora were sitting close on the couch, whispering. She was laughing. His hand was on her knee. I froze. When they saw me, Nora stood up like nothing happened. "We were just talking," she said, like it was the most normal thing in the world. Brian gave me a tight smile and walked past me. Couldn't sleep. I didn't say anything. I just went back to bed. That week I started paying attention. He stopped touching me at night. Started staying at the shop longer. Came home smelling like her perfume once. I told myself it was mine. I told myself I was imagining things. Until I found her bracelet in our bedroom. Under his side of the bed. Silver with little stars. She wore it every damn day. I stood in the doorway and stared at it for 10 full minutes. I didn't scream. I didn't cry. I waited until the next afternoon when Brian had left for work. She was painting her nails in the kitchen when I walked in. I held it up. "Lose something?" She looked at it, then me. "Oh, yeah. I must have dropped it when I came in to borrow your blow dryer. I keep it in the bathroom." She didn't blink. I went in there. I didn't say anything, just stared at her. That's when she smiled. Not friendly. Not kind. "She's gonna do it," she said to herself, laughing. "You're gonna ask me, aren't you? Are you sleeping with him?" She shrugged. "I mean, we haven't technically slept together. Yet." I swear my ears went hot. She stood up and walked toward me. He deserves better, you know. You don't even see how dead he is inside. You've been trying to force a baby into a marriage that's already over. She brushed past me. You're just too boring to notice. That was the moment something broke in me. I didn't yell. I didn't fight her. I didn't cry. I got in my car and drove straight to the nearest electronics store. Bought a cheap little voice recorder. Small enough to hide in the couch cushions or the fake plant by the TV. I hid it. I waited. Every night I downloaded the recordings to my laptop. At first, they were mostly whispers. Laughing, complaining about me. Her giggling, him groaning. Then more. You don't have to stay with her, you know, she said one night. I'm just waiting for the right moment, he replied. You're the one I think about. She sighed. I wish we could be honest already. He whispered, soon. I didn't listen to all the files. I didn't need to. Instead, I created a burner email account. I attached 5 audio clips. Labeled them by date. I sent them to Rick, her ex, the one she said cheated. With a short message, thought you'd want these. Might help with custody. I didn't hear back. But Nora did. Her lawyer dropped her. Rick filed an emergency motion. He won sole custody of both kids. The court ordered supervised visitation only. She was declared unstable after Rick's attorney played one of the recordings where she talked about how she wanted to start a new family with Brian. She screamed at me the day it all happened. You ruined my life. I didn't even flinch. You ruined mine first. She left that night. Brian didn't go with her. He stayed. Slept in the guest room. For a week. Then one morning, he knocked on the bedroom door. She's not answering my calls, he said. I made a mistake. I didn't speak. I just looked at him. I love you, he said. I thought I wanted her, but she used me. She doesn't care about anyone. I let him finish. Then I walked past him, down the stairs, out the front door. I called a locksmith that afternoon. When he came back from work, his key didn't work. He knocked. I opened the door halfway. You both belong together, I said. Just not in my house. Then I shut the door. After I changed the locks, Brian didn't leave right away. He stood on the porch for 15 minutes, knocking, then calling, then yelling my name. I watched him through the peephole. I didn't move. Eventually, he kicked the door once, just hard enough to let me know he was angry, and stormed off. I waited another half hour before I let myself cry. But it didn't end there. He started showing up at the shop when he knew I'd be there. He brought coffee. Asked if we could talk. We need closure, he kept saying. We were married 11 years, for God's sake. Closure. That word made me sick. One time, he cornered me in the parking lot behind my office. She's gone, he said. I'm not seeing her. I swear. I crossed my arms. And that's supposed to fix everything? He looked desperate. I made a mistake. But I was confused. I didn't know how to deal with us failing to get pregnant. You shut me out. That stung. Because he wasn't wrong. I had shut him out. But that didn't give him a free pass to sleep with my sister. You want me to forgive you because we were struggling? I asked. Because I was hurting? You think that makes what you did okay? He looked down. No. I just don't want to lose you. Too late. That night, I saw Nora's car outside a seedy bar on the east side of town. I didn't stop. I just watched her from my car. She looked thin. Tired. She was sitting alone, staring into a drink. I found out later she was living in a rundown motel off Alcoa Highway. No job. No custody. Rick had moved on already. He had a new girlfriend, and their kids called her Mommy now. Nora tried texting me one night. The message said, I'm sorry. I didn't know it would turn out like this. I didn't reply. Instead, I printed out one of the court documents showing she lost custody. I folded it into an envelope, slipped in a copy of a photo of her and Brian from the night I recorded them on the couch, and mailed it to her motel. I signed it. He wasn't worth it. Neither were you. Petty? Sure, but I wasn't finished. A week later, Brian's business started losing customers. Turns out a few of the recordings I'd saved included him talking trash about clients, mocking their cars, calling them idiots with credit cards. I sent those recordings to a few local Facebook groups where people posted reviews of small businesses. I created a fake profile and shared a few clips with names blacked out, but just enough clues to make it obvious. People started commenting fast. Is this that garage off Kingston Pike? I knew that guy was shady. I took my car there last month. Never again. Brian called me the next day. What the hell are you doing? He shouted. You're ruining me. I didn't say a word. I just hung up. Let him rot in the same mess he helped make. But then something strange happened. I started getting phone calls from unknown numbers. Weird messages. One night someone followed me home in a dark truck, headlights off. I pulled into a gas station and waited until they drove away. I didn't know who it was, but I had a feeling. Nora, or maybe Brian, or maybe both. They had nothing left to lose. That's when I realized something. This wasn't over. After the night someone followed me, I got serious. I installed cameras, doorbell, backyard, garage, got a stun gun and kept it in my purse. Changed my phone number. Gave a copy of everything to a friend in case something happened. I didn't go looking for revenge anymore. Now I was just trying to stay ahead of whatever was coming. Then, 2 weeks later, my boss at the accounting firm pulled me into his office. We got a weird email, he said. Someone sent us a screenshot. It claimed you falsified a tax report. I blinked. What? He turned the screen. There it was. A fake spreadsheet. My name on the bottom. Total garbage. I could tell someone had made it up, but it looked real at first glance. You're not in trouble, he said. But I thought you should know someone's trying to hurt your reputation. I asked him to forward the email. He did. It came from another burner account. I looked at the sender's name. NoraF2022@outlook.com. My hands went cold. I hadn't spoken to Nora in over a month. Hadn't replied to a single message. Hadn't seen her face since the day she left. But now she was trying to ruin my job. I took a breath and called Rick. We weren't friends, but he owed me. He picked up after the second ring. Hello. It's me, I said. I think your ex-wife is spiraling. He was quiet for a second. Then, what did she do now? I told him everything. The fake spreadsheet. The following. The weird calls. Rick sighed. She called me crying last week. Said she wanted to see the kids. Said she was gonna get revenge on everyone who took her life. I didn't know she meant you too. She's not okay, I said. No, she's not. He paused. Do you want me to talk to her? No, I said. I want you to keep the kids far away from her. She's dangerous. He agreed. We hung up. That night, I finally blocked Nora on everything. I should have done it sooner. But it didn't stop. The next morning, my backyard camera caught someone sneaking behind my garage. I didn't see a face, just a hoodie, slim frame, fast movement. The figure stayed near my fence for a minute, then slipped away. I sent the footage to the police. They opened a file but didn't do much. Could have been a trespasser, the officer said. Hard to say who. Keep your cameras on. I was on edge for days. Barely sleeping. Checking locks twice. Carrying my stun gun room to room like it was a security blanket. Then I found out something else. Brian had moved in with Nora. In the same motel. I only knew because I ran into one of his former employees at the grocery store. We made small talk. I asked how the garage was doing. He shut it down, she said. I guess business tanked. Last I heard, he was living in that motel by the highway. With some woman. I didn't see her face. It all made sense now. They were together. Broke. Angry. Twisting in their own mess. And for some reason, still coming after me. But here's the thing, if they wanted war, they'd just declared it. And I wasn't going to hide anymore. I decided to end it. Not with violence. Not with threats. With something worse, truth. I started with Brian. I sent an anonymous tip to the IRS with his full tax history and a copy of his financials. I knew the numbers. I used to help him file every year. I knew he underreported cash jobs. Knew about the off-the-books work he did for his buddies. I marked the exact years, the estimated amounts, even included some receipts I had saved from when we shared a joint account. Then I sent another package. This one to the motel management. Inside was a detailed list of complaints. Drug use, suspected prostitution, police visits, all made up, but written convincingly. Signed with a fake name. I included a photo of Nora and Brian entering the motel at night, which I got from a friend who worked nearby. They got evicted 3 days later. Nowhere to go. No money. No business. No kids. Still not done. The last move was the hardest because it forced me to look at my own failure. I wrote a letter to Rick's new girlfriend, the woman the kids now called Mommy. I told her everything, not to ruin her life, but to warn her what kind of people were circling around her family. I told her about Nora's obsession, her unstable behavior, the recordings, the lies. I ended the letter with, "Protect those kids. That's all I care about." She wrote back 2 days later. "Thank you," she said. "We won't let her near them again." And just like that, my revenge was complete. But here's what no one tells you about revenge. It doesn't feel good. Not for long. After all the dust settled, I was alone in a quiet house with cameras on every wall and a stun gun on my nightstand. I'd won, but I'd lost too. I lost the man I married. I lost the sister I grew up with. I lost the future I thought I was building. And I wasn't innocent either. I ignored warning signs for years. Let guilt guide me when I should have stood my ground. Tried to save someone who didn't want saving. And when it all blew up, I burned every bridge I could find. Maybe I was justified. But I wasn't clean. A month after the last move, I got a final message. An old, handwritten letter. No return address. It was from Nora. It said, "You destroyed me. I hope it was worth it." He left. You can have him now. He's as empty as you are. I read it once and burned it in the sink. She was wrong. I didn't want him. He was never mine to keep. Not really. And she was right about one thing. We were both empty. But at least now I was free.